Well, it's the oil sensitives once again weighing heavy, and there hasn't been any improvement in an HP, BP or an IOC. In fact, HPCL is now down 3.6% as we speak. BP down about 3.3%. There's Shriram Finance, which amidst the nifty movers is your rank underperformer. Though Hindalco, Nalco are the ones which are seeing a bump up. In fact, Nalco is holding up nearly 3% in trade. ICICI GI up 2.25%. MCX a complete reversal from where the stock was yesterday. 3.25% of an uptick. Kalyan Jewellers, big reversal once again. Rank underperformer yesterday. Today it's up 5.5%. And then Naukri, which shot up almost double digit yesterday. Today it's also holding up 3.5%. So another big move coming in on that stock and a smart follow through. But still in the thick of Q1 updates, and it's been a softish one for CSB Bank. So let me welcome on board Pralay Mondal, the MD and CEO, and chat a little bit about the quarterly update and what does it really indicate going forward. Mr. Mondal, great to have you today on ET Now. Thank you so much for your time. Was just looking at your Q1 advances because they've grown only about 1.3% on a sequential basis. Is the 25% FY27 growth guidance you think still achievable? And if so, where will the required acceleration really come in from?
Good morning, Aisha, and good morning to your viewers. Yes, we grew by around 24% year on year this quarter on the asset side, and on the liability side, deposit side, we grew by around 26%. So overall business grew by around 25%, which is in line with what we have guided for the year. What we did is our wholesale business picked up pretty well. We are still cautious on the SME side, but things are picking up. Hopefully, the global challenges are subsiding, and hence some of the challenges which the SME sectors are facing should start getting stabilized. And on the retail side, we have not grown that much. So from that perspective, and our gold loan growth, we have been slightly slow this quarter because we didn't want to take the risk with the price fluctuations happening at this point of time. So overall, I think 25% is not such a bad number also, which is in line with our growth. Quarter on quarter doesn't mean anything for a balance sheet of our size because we have to look at on a year-on-year basis, and we still hold our guidance on our year-on-year basis.
Lots of interesting pieces to unpack there. You spoke about SME first. Why are you being cautious there? You just put in place certain policies and processes on how to lend to the MSME sector. What's keeping you cautious on that front?
Hesh, good morning. You must understand that with the size of our balance sheet, we need to be always managing the risk well. And we cannot take the risk which some of the larger banks are taking or can take. So given that perspective, I think given the global crisis, given where rupee was in the last quarter, given that where the some of the supply chain disruptions which were there, etc., we just didn't want to go all out in the SME business at this point of time. But we are continuing to invest in the SME in terms of our verticals, in terms of our people, and hence this remains a very critical lever for our growth in the long run. And SME, our guidance that it will be around 17-18% of our book by 2030, that sustains. It's just a temporary kind of thinking we have because nobody can or could have understood last quarter where the world is going in terms of the challenges and crises which are happening on the supply chain side. So that's why we are just being cautious. I think it's basically a kind of a risk-averse kind of a mindset we have as a bank.
What's the LTV currently broadly for you? You suggested that just the fluctuation is why you've held back. If gold settles in around 4,000, 4,200, what would the LTV be? $1 on the ounce. One, and the second piece is, does growth significantly accelerate for you on the gold loan front at least? Because that's a proven winner for you in terms of the way in which the book has shaped up. Does that accelerate